Okay, in this video, we're going to explain how students select their courses in the Bachelor of Technology degree completion programs. My name is Mike Justason. I'm a faculty member in the School of Engineering, Practice and Technology, and I'm joined by Darlene Hayward, and she is the academic advisor for Bachelor of Technology students. Welcome.
Thank you, Mike.
So we're here to answer some questions and hopefully give you some useful information about selecting your courses. And the first thing I wanted to say as an introduction is that part of the strength of the degree completion programs is the flexibility. So unlike your college diploma, where all of your courses were sort of prescribed for you for each semester, in the Bachelor of Technology, it's up to you to figure out what courses you need to take and when you're going to take them, and whether you're eligible to take them or not. And we'll cover all of those bases. So I just wanted to highlight the fact that selecting your courses, enrolling in your courses is really your responsibility. So with that, the first question students will ask is, what courses do I have to take? How do they know what to take, Darlene?
Students have a real-time degree tracking tool on Mosaic. It can be found in the academic section, and if you use the drop-down section in there and choose your academic requirements, that is your real-time degree tracking tool called your Advisement report. So that Advisement report will contain the degree requirements from the calendar based on the year of entry, and it will actually grow as you are in the program. So as we add new courses to the curriculum, then we would add those new courses as selections for students. Okay. So anytime a student wants to know how many courses they have left, anytime they're thinking about adding, canceling, dropping courses, they should be referring to that Advisement report to see which courses they actually need to enroll in.
Okay, and I would encourage students to take some time to find their way around that Advisement report and make sure they're familiar with how it works. There is also a sort of an unofficial way we have of showing students what courses are part of their program, and each of the technical program chairs produces a little course sequence chart.
Right.
But that is an unofficial document.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just add for the Advisement report as well that part of the graduation assessment when students are actually finished their degree, the Advisement report should show nothing outstanding on that. Right. So it is important that students follow that throughout their degree, and certainly check with us if there's any questions.
Okay, so Advisement report, that tells us what courses we have to take.
Correct.
So the next thing is, when are these courses?
The courses are offered in 3 different terms. So we have a fall term, which runs from September to December. We have a winter term, which runs from January through to April. And then we have the summer term, which runs from May through to August. Students can actually enroll in up to 6 courses in each of those terms, and yeah, based on what's offered, of course. Okay,
and then how do the students know what time and when, what day the courses are offered?
Right, so we actually have on the B.Tech website, based on your program stream, we actually release those timetables for you. So we have a convenience timetable that we put out there, so you can actually look by term, and you can usually plan at least 1 term in advance, and you can actually look at those timetables to find out which days the courses are offered on and which courses are offered. Officially, though, you would look in Mosaic. Okay. So from your Student Center, if you click on the Search for Classes button, you can actually look by term and find out which courses are offered. An easy way to do that would be to look for your particular subject area by term and find out all of the courses offered in that subject.
Okay, and I've seen it before where a student wants to take 2 certain courses, and it just so happens that those courses are offered on the same night of the week.
Right.
And what I tell students in that situation is take the course that's offered the least often.
Correct.
So some of the Gen Tech courses may be offered twice a year or even 3 times a year in the terms that you mentioned. Right. Some of the technical courses may only come up once a year. Right. So if you have a choice, I would encourage students to pick the course that's offered the least often.
Right, and the advisement report will also help with that as well. So you'll know which technical courses you'll have, as well as which Gen Techs are mandatory and which ones are your elective Gen Techs. So picking in the priority of certainly your technical courses first. And again, like you mentioned, only being able to take one course in one particular time slot. Even if the course is listed as online, you would still be only enrolling in one course in one time slot.
Right, that's a common question. Can I enroll in 2 courses that are offered the same night? And the answer is no, you cannot do that.
Correct.
Okay, and I should also just mention that the courses on weekdays are offered from 6:30 to 9:30, and there are 2 time slots on Saturdays, 9 till noon and 1 till 4.
Correct, right. So potentially you could enroll in up to 6 courses per term using that kind of planning. So yes, you could be here for 6 courses per term, even with 2 courses on the Saturday if they were in 2 different time slots.
Yes, okay. Okay, that's good. So the last thing is, how do you know if you are eligible to take a course, or what happens if you're trying to enroll in a course and Mosaic won't let you do it? What's going on there?
Right, so courses do have prerequisites. The Gen Techs, generally speaking, only you have to be enrolled in the program, but your technical courses most often will have prior course prerequisites. So those are all listed in the undergraduate calendar. Each year we release a calendar which runs from September 1st right through until the end of August. So it runs what we call our academic year. So you would follow the prerequisites for that course that are in place in that particular year. As we add new courses to the curriculum, we are also recognizing that students who have been in the program for quite some time, so we would have prerequisites which would allow students who took prior courses as well as newer sets of courses. So we are cognizant of that. So yes, you would follow the course prerequisites.
Okay, and there are students in the Bachelor of Technology program who've been in for a long time, and they've probably seen changes occur to the curriculum over time, but we always try to accommodate those students so that they can still take the courses that they want to take, unless of course they've been replaced with a different course.
Right.
But we do make changes to the advisement report that should allow students reasonable access to the courses that they'd like.
That's right. So that's what we say is the advisement report contains the original set of courses from when you entered the program, and then as we add new courses, we'll continue to have that advisement report grow, so you'll have future course selections as well as we keep adding those to the curriculum. Okay.
And then I did also want to mention, students will see these course codes. Some courses are Eng-Tech, some are Gen Tech, some are Man-Tech and Civ-Tech. And I just wanted to make a quick note. The Eng-Tech courses, typically those represent courses that are shared between different technical streams. So students who are in civil and manufacturing and energy, they may all share one math course.
Correct.
Math is a good example of an Eng-Tech course. It's shared among different streams. If you're in manufacturing, for instance, there are courses that are just Man-Tech, and those are courses specific to your stream. And that's true for the civil, the software, and the energy programs as well.
Correct.
But in total, between the Eng-Tech and your course or stream-specific courses, you need to get 17 technical courses.
Correct.
Plus 7 Gen Tech courses.
That is true for all of our programs.
For all the programs,
that's right.
That's true.
Right.
Okay. And while we're talking about the advisement report, there are a couple of other things that appear on the student's advisement report that are sort of useful to know about. I'm thinking in particular about the co-op courses. What are those? What does that mean?
Right. So all students, when they're admitted to the program, will receive an email from me with information about the assessment of their college co-op. So if I found any college co-op courses on their transcript, I would grant credit for those. And you'll receive an email. If you didn't receive the full 8 months of credit, then I'll give you the 3 ways that Arlene talked about to satisfy the remaining co-op requirement. So the co-op we actually track through 3 course codes. So the Eng-Tech 2 ETO and Eng-Tech 3 ETO each represent 4 months of a co-op experience.
Right. Okay.
If a student were looking at completing co-op while they're a student here at McMaster, then they would register in our Eng-Tech 1 ETO course, which is our orientation to the co-op program.
Okay.
So they should register for that as soon as they're thinking about preparing for the co-op, which often is the first term of study here.
Right.
And then you'll get all the information, and then as you get approved for your co-op work terms, the Engineering Co-op and Career Services Office will help you register for those co-op courses, the 2 ETO and 3 ETO. So those will actually also be listed on your advisement report right at the end of the report. So if you were granted transfer credit at admission, they would be marked with a T. And if you complete the co-op while you're a student, then it would actually give the term that you're completing the co-op.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Right.
It's good. These videos are quite educational. And if you have more questions about co-op, there is a separate video that we have to explain the different ways you can satisfy the co-op requirement. But in terms of a video about selecting courses, I think this was pretty informative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.